Theo, a ruthless and broken alpha, is rejected by both his first and second mates, leaving him cold and feared by his pack. His parents and friends, desperate to find someone who can change him, pin their hopes on Luna, a kind and enigmatic human florist with a mysterious past. As Luna enters Theo's life through a carefully orchestrated plan by his Beta and Luna's own selfless actions, the Alpha's hardened heart begins to thaw. Amid growing rogue attacks and a brewing conspiracy, Theo must confront his inner demons, embrace love, and prove that even the most broken souls can be redeemed. Sometimes I feel my whole life has been one big rejection. By Marilyn Monroe. Every candle that gets lit in the darkroom must feel a little rejection from the darkness around it. But the last thing I want from those who hold a different world view to me is to accept me. By Kirk Cameron, third person's POV. Theo was standing next to the window, staring at the rain falling down like a million falling stars. The scenery was cold and gloomy, just like his darkened heart. Lightning illuminated the night sky, occasionally followed by the deep roar of thunder. Just when Theo was about slightly calm his second mate, Isabella White stormed into his office with eyes burning with rage. Isabella was in pure anger once she was told the news of Theo killing off 2 innocent rouges who trespassed on his grounds. How could you do such a horrible thing to them? Isabella screamed at him, banging her fist onto his desk, cracking it just slightly. Theo turned around, looking her way with ice-cold eyes as her words and actions did not faze him. Nothing could really break down his walls that Theo had created over the years of protecting his pack. Rouges are rouges, Isabella. I don't want you to tell me what's wrong and what's right, Theo told her with no emotion shown on his face. That only fouled her anger more. I'm your mate, yet you treat me like shit. This is why everyone hates you and fears who you are. I'm one of the ones that hate you. I hated you ever since the day I met you. Once again, her words didn't even make him flinch. However, Theo did feel the pain of her words deep within him that angered his wolf. You're nothing but a cold-hearted monster. I wish I never met you. Drop dead, Theo. With cruel departing words, Isabella quickly turns to leave the room. She stopped with her hand on the door handle, giving Theo one last look. I, Isabella White, reject you, Alpha Theo, as my mate. The pain of rejection coursed throughout Theo's body, but with all his willpower, he showed no trace of pain. Theo just lost his love, his mate. Theo lost his first mate when she ran away, not bearing to be near him any longer. Isabella slammed the door behind her. All throughout the pack house, the sound of glass breaking and loud crashes can be heard. Theo was destroying his office. Once Isabella reached the front door, she was stopped by Theo's father, Christian King. Please, Isabella, give Theo a chance. You are his second and last mate after all. He told her in hopes she would reconsider staying with him. Though Isabella would rather be put in a cell, starving to death, than be with Theo. Give him a chance. Don't make me laugh, Isabella said, not facing his way. Your son is nothing but a monster who kills for the fun of it. No wonder his first mate ran away from him. No one can love that horrifying beast. With her final words, she was gone. Isabella shifted into her dark brown wolf, taking off into the woods, with no trace of regret in her choice in leaving him. Isabella never even loved him. She only had feelings for someone else from her former pack. With her now being free from Theo, she set out to her old pack for her to be with the one she really loved before she was forcibly taken. Back at the pack house, Christian was busy calming his wife down. His only mother has given up hope for her son ever finding love and for someone to change him for the better. Amy, my love, you must not give up on Theo. I know he will change and see that what he is doing is wrong. Christian reassured her, gently rubbing her back. How can you say that? Theo lost his first and second mate. It's over for him, dear. There is nothing left we can do. Even the moon goddess has given up on him. Her words laced with such sorrow, knowing her son will never be loved. As Theo's mother, all she wants is for him to be happy and rule the pack with a loving mate by his side. I know that someone somewhere out there can change Theo into a true alpha. As his father, I won't be giving up. I'll make a few calls to other strong packs and see from there. With much determination in his voice, Christian took hold of Amy's hands, leading her back to their room for some much-needed rest. Not much time had passed as Amy fell fast asleep with a tear-stained face. Christian gently stroked her cheek, feeling rather hurt to see his mate cry. He knows that she only wants what's best for Theo, but as far as things have been, it will take even a miracle for anyone to love his son. Christian stepped out of the room, pulling out his phone to make a few calls to other pack houses who were good allies to meet up and discuss any unmated females who wished to be Theo's mate. Even though this won't be an easy task, Christian had to give it a shot. The only way for Theo to change is as if someone accepts him for who he is and to love him without any fear. With the phone calls now out of the way, Christian sends out an order to one of the servants still on the clock to clean Theo's office and replace the broken furnitures with new ones stored in the basement for times like these. It had always bothered Christine on how his son had become so violent. Nothing came to mind on what triggered such an effect. When Theo was younger, he had always been such a bright child, smiling with no care in the world. By the time he hit middle school, things started to change for the worse, with him closing himself off from everyone, only letting his best friend Kendall by his side, who is now his beta. Soon after, he became the most ruthless alpha known throughout the state. Leaving a note on Theo's new desk, Christian woke his wife up, telling her what he plans on doing to help Theo. Amy agreed to leave with him, leaving her own note too. Both Christian and Amy set out to meet with other packs in order to find the right women to be Theo's Luna. Okay, that wraps up Chapter 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to vote, comment, share with love. Little Cho 107 stab the body and it heals, but injure the heart and the wound lasts a lifetime. Mineko Iwasaki, if people refuse to look at you in a new light, and they can only see you for what you were, only see you for the mistakes you've made, if they don't realize that you are not your mistakes, then they have to go. Steve Marabali, Theo's POV. Pain. All I could feel was the intense pain, my body flowing through me like a rushing waterfall. I knew this had to be Isabella doing as she is making love to her new mate. What makes it worse is that she knows I never accepted her rejection, so now she wants me to feel all the pain she's inflicting on me through this kind of torment. Even though the pain is intense, I won't let her have the satisfaction of thinking she's winning. I have lots on my mind, especially the 2 notes my parents left for me on my desk. I mind-linked my beta for him to come and see me. Kendall, come to my office now. Kendall walked into my office with a giant smile on his face. I raised my brow up in confusion. Something good must have happened for him to be smiling so hard like that. What's up, Theo? You wanted to see me? Yes, in about 3 weeks I'll be leaving for an alpha meeting at the palace. You are to come with me since betas must also attend to. And before I explain any further, I like to ask why you are smiling like a complete idiot. Right after asking that question, I noticed Kendall blushing the shade of pink, like what I asked was embarrassing. Well, you see, Theo, I found my mate about 4 hours ago. So Kendall found his mate. Guess that does explain why he's so happy. Giving a slight nod was all I could give. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy for my friend, and know he's been waiting a long time to find his mate, but I just couldn't emotionally show it. Though I know Kendall understands since he's been my best friend for years. Congratulations, man. I'm happy for you. I didn't look at him. Kendall could tell that I didn't want to hear anything relating to a mate. Look, Theo, I know it's hard for you since that incident with both your mates, but that doesn't mean you can't find somebody else. Don't just give up. Kendall tried reasoning with me, though I didn't want to hear another word. Kendall, drop it. Everyone has given up on me, even the moon goddess. I'm not meant to be loved, I've been shown that, now leave. I didn't want to talk about this any longer. Hearing Kendall sigh, leaving my office, I sat down getting some paperwork done. Just when I thought I had some peace, another rush of pain flowed through me. Isabella is really pushing it. When I see her again, I will be accepting her rejection. Having a bitch like that for a mate is hell. Really wanting to get her off my mind, had I decided it's best to go for a run, clearing my mind. Walking out the back of the house, I shifting into my large black wolf, I sprinted into the woods in top speed, dodging any tree logs I come across. I loved the feel of the wind hitting my soft fur coat. Why did this have to happen to me? I can't help who I am. I know I beat them, but I don't mean to. My anger is something that I need to learn how to control, but I can't do it alone. My first mate, Arabella, was so sweet and beautiful with a kind heart. She was a great mate to have, but just hearing my name, she would cower in fear, keeping her distance, trying to move away from me as often as she could. That would always seem to anger my wolf greatly. That's when the beatings started. Before I knew it, she was gone. Friendship is the hardest thing in the world to explain. It's not something you learn in school. But if you haven't learned the meaning of friendship, you really haven't learned anything. Unknown. A friend is one that knows you as you are, understands where you have been, accepts what you have become, and still, gently allows you to grow. William Shakespeare. Man, I couldn't wait to see my beautiful mate Sabrina Stone. Goddess, I can't believe her ass of an alpha refuses to let her go to be with me just because my alpha best friend is too dangerous to be around. That man doesn't know anything about Theo and the shit he's gone through. Damn it, why is everyone so quick to judge a person without getting to know them? Sure, he may be hard to approach and can get violent, but get past that and you can see a great guy. Although that's easier said than done. We're here. Wasting no time, I jumped out of the car running to my sweet mate. Kendall, you made it, Sabrina shouted, jumping into my arms. I held onto her tightly, inhaling her sweet scent, the sweet smell of that beautiful flower chocolate cosmos. Sabrina, I like you to meet Theo, my best friend and alpha. I told her, pointing to Theo, was just stared at us, showing no emotion as usual. I could feel Sabrina tense up at the sight of him. Sabrina, there's nothing to worry about. Theo is here to talk with your alpha so that you can come and live with me. Sabrina gently nodded, slow, clinging to my arm. Damn, I really don't like seeing her act this way. Looks like you really did come back with that monster of an alpha. The three of us snapped out heads to the direction of Hunter, Sabrina's alpha. Of course I would come back for my mate, I said, looking at him, not caring if he glares at both me and Theo. I told you before that I will not have my pack members be at risk of danger from your alpha. I could tell he really despises Theo for being who he is and for the things he's done. I'll admit that Theo has done some cruel things, but he's doing what's best for the pack. Alpha Hunter, please. I want to be with my mate. I don't care if I'll be at risk of danger as long as I have my mate by my side. Oh, thank you, Moon Goddess, for giving me such an amazing mate, even though you sucked at giving Theo a proper mate. You show him, babe. The girl has spoken, Alpha Hunter. She will now be a part of my pack whether you like it or not, Theo said, walking away to his 2016 Chevrolet Corvette. Yeah, I had to point out the car's name since I'm so jealous I don't have one. But if you continue to interfere with my beta and his mate, I will not waste a second in snapping your neck. I almost laughed at Alpha Hunter when I saw his face turn white like a ghost. Even Sabrina giggled a little. This is great. If I can at least show her the kinder side of Theo, then she won't fear him so much. She will see a great friend. Wow, that sounded so cheesy. Alpha Hunter turned pale with fear. Don't think I'll let you leave so easily, Hunter said, shifting into his dark brown wolf. His wolf was big, I'll give you that. Though this dumbass is going to learn the hard way that fighting Theo is a one-way ticket to the pack doctor. Theo took off his shirt, exposing his damn six-pack, making my mate look. I held in my groan, and so did my wolf Noah. Damn it, man. Stop looking cool in front of my mate. That's my job. Turning into his midnight black wolf, which is cool since his wolf is named Midnight. The difference between these two alphas was very big for one reason alone. Theo's wolf is the size of a truck, while Hunter's wolf was the size of a small car. Alpha Hunter rushes towards Theo with impressive speed. However, Theo quickly tackles him down, roughly, his claws at the edge of Hunter's throat, his fangs bearing out in a threatening sign telling Hunter to surrender. Hunter surrenders, shifting back into human form, being completely naked. I covered Sabrina's eyes. Hell no, the only naked man she can ever see is me and only me. Theo was kind enough to shift back behind his car, putting back his clothes. Sabrina ran back inside to grab her stuff so we could bolt out. When we finished placing all of Sabrina's stuff in Theo's car, we headed back to the pack house. Upon arriving, Theo went straight back to his office to finish up some paperwork while I showed my mate around the pack so that she knows her way around. Kendall, can I ask you something? Sabrina asked me. Sure, what's up? Is it true that Alpha Theo really got rejected by both his first and second chance mate? Damn, looks like many packs have found out already. Who spread the news in such a short amount of time? Only one way that had to happen, and my mind goes straight to Isabella. I sighed. Yes, it's true. I just wish they give him the chance and help him change for the better. I know his father has not given up on him, but his mother has, which is really messed up of a mother. You know what, Kendall, when I really think about it, his mates really should have tried harder for him. Mates are supposed to be there for each other through thick and thin. When I saw how Alpha Theo defended me and showed my former Alpha who's boss, I could tell he's not really a bad person. I may still get scared of him since he can be scary when he wants to, but that does not change the fact that he cares deeply for his pack members. If there's any way to help him, I want in. We could even find Alpha Theo a better mate than what the moon goddess. I couldn't believe what I just heard. I have to be the luckiest man on earth to have the best mate. I pulled her close to me as I captured her lips, giving her the most passionate kiss ever. Feeling her kiss back with the same passion and lust really turned me on. I picked her up, heading straight to my bedroom. I placed her on the bed with me on top of her. Let's just say I had her screaming my name till she passed out. Pretty sure the whole pack house heard it. Maybe Sabrina is right. Could there really be someone out there who can love Theo? I'll have to start looking around then if we ever want Theo to change for the better. Just watch, Theo. I'll do my best in finding you the perfect lover since the moon goddess failed you. Sabrina stirred in her sleep, waking up. Sorry, babe, did I wake you? No, I forgot to ask you for a favor before you made me pass out. I mentally smirked. I don't regret that one bit. What's the favor? Can you ask Alpha if I can hold a book club? Alpha Hunter said I couldn't have won, so I hoped Alpha Theo will let me if you asked. A book club, huh? That actually sounds good to have. Hold the phone, I can use this to my advantage. Sure thing, I'll ask him in the morning. Hope you liked Chapter 3. Don't forget to vote, comment, share. With love, Little Cho. 107 flowers have an expression of countenance as much as men or animals. Some seem to smile, some have a sad expression, some are pensive and diffident, others again are plain, honest, and upright, like the broad-faced sunflower and the hollyhock. Henry Ward Beecher, Star Papers, A Discourse of Flowers. The flower is the poetry of reproduction. It is an example of the eternal seductiveness of life. Jean Juridu, Sabrina's POV. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks since Kendall mated and marked me as his. Things have been going great for me. However, during my time here, I saw just how frightening Alpha Theo can be. Just 2 days ago, he took on 4 huge rouge wolves by snapping their necks in one go. It's going to be flipping hard finding someone for him. Unless there is a girl out there who can tolerate his violent side, I'm at a dead end here. Sabrina, where are you going? Kendall asked me, wrapping his arms around my waist as he nuzzled my neck, making me give out a small giggle. I'm going to visit my mother and father, but first I need to stop by the flower shop. Mom just loves her flowers, so I thought it is good to give her fresh new ones. I said, unwrapping his arms around me, which made him whimper. Let me come with you. I like to meet you, parents. I smiled. No, not yet. I want you to meet them next time. I want everything to be perfect. I could see him now starting to pout. I rolled my eyes. Wow, Alpha Theo was right. My mate can be a proud sissy at times. I like to know how they became such best friends. Giving Kendall a peck on the lips, I waved goodbye to him, walking out to my car, my 2016 Mercedes-Benz CLA class. God, I love my car so much. I can understand why most guys take pride in them. But then again, most men love their cars a bit too much. I had Kendall pick it up for me back at my old pack. After driving around town, I found a really cute flower shop. There were so many different flowers, even ones I've never seen before. My mother would love it here so much she'd stay for hours. Hello there, how may I help you? A very gentle and sweet voice spoke out. I turned around to see a young woman who looked to be the same age as me. And wow, she was beautiful. Such long, wavy, light brown hair with cute shirt bangs. Her eyes light brown with lips that are light pink. She even had this warm, motherly feeling to her. But that smile was even more beautiful. Yes, I was just looking for some flowers for my mom. Why the hell am I nervous all of a sudden? Oh. What kind of flowers does your mother like? She asked me. Well, I'm not sure. My mother loves all kinds of flowers. I don't even know why. I said, looking at some red roses. The woman just giggled softly, walking up to me. Did you know that each flower holds a meaning? She told me, picking up a flower that I had no idea what was called, like this gardenia that I'm holding now. Gardenias symbolize purity and sweetness. They also indicate secret love. They tell the receiver you are lovely. Wow. I can't believe that just one flower could mean something so beautiful. I even bet those who just buy flowers for loved ones don't even know that. What about that pinkish yellow flower right there? I asked, pointing to it. That's Alstroemeria. Hard to pronounce, but this flower is symbolic of wealth, prosperity, and fortune. It is also the flower of friendship. You know your flowers, huh? Why the hell did I say that? She is a damn florist. I sure do. Flowers are very beautiful but frail like a person's life. Even if the flower withers away, the memory and beauty of it will never die. I could see so many emotions through her eyes when she said that. Something about her seemed special. Someone like her would be perfect, though she's human. What's your favorite flower? I asked, wanting to know for some reason. My favorite flower? Well, it would have to be the purple lilac. There are different colors of lilacs that hold a different meaning. White lilac symbolizes humility and innocence. Field lilac symbolizes charity, while my favorite, the purple lilac, symbolizes first love. There is also a short story about the lilac, too. Would you like to hear it? I'm hooked on knowing more, so I just nodded my head for her to continue. You see, the story of lilac, according to Greek mythology, begins with a beautiful nymph named Syringa, aka lilac's botanical name. Captivated by her natural beauty, Pan, the god of the forests and fields, chased Syringa through the forest. Syringa was frightened by Pan's affections, so Syringa escaped him by turning herself into an aromatic bush, the flower we all now refer to as the lilac. Hearing her finish that short but amazing story about just one flower, I knew that deep down something about this girl was very special. I smiled and asked her to give me each different flower to give to my mom. I paid her and left her a great tip. She gave me a card from the flower shop and left back inside. Getting into my car, I drove off to my mother. It's about time you got here, my mother told me with her right hand on her hip. Sorry, I was busy learning something amazing, I told her, handing her the flowers. What did you learn? She asked, taking the flowers away. I learned what all kinds of flowers mean. The look on my mother's face was filled with shock. I can take a picture of this and save it for later. Did you? Sabrina, you never really been interested in flowers before. Well, I met this girl who was about the same age as me, and she's knowledgeable about all kinds of flowers. What was the girl's name? Did you ask? I facepalmed myself. Damn it, how could I forget to ask her name? I forgot to ask, I said, not looking at my mother. Sabrina, what's that card you have there in your hand? My mother pointed out, putting the flowers in fresh water. Oh, this is the card she gave me. It's the name of the flower shop I was at. Sabrina, it looks like there is something written in the back of it. I turned the card around to see what it said, and sure enough, it had the girl's name on it. I read the card out so that my mother could hear. My name is Luna Silverheart. How did she know? Don't forget to vote, comment, share with love, Little Cho 107. The most important lesson that I have learned is to trust God in every circumstance. Lots of times we go through different trials, and following God's plan seems like it doesn't make any sense at all. God is always in control, and He will never leave us. Allison Felix, to accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe. Anatole France, Sabrina's POV. Mom, this girl, Luna Silverheart, could be the perfect match for Alpha Theo. The only problem is that she's human. She's beautiful, gentle, and everything a guy looks in for a girl. Well, some guys, since every guy taste is different. My mother nodded and agreed with me. I felt my heart swell at seeing Theo happy. The only thing is, many things can go wrong with this plan. Hold on for a moment there, Sabrina. You might not know if this girl might be frightened if she meets him. After all, Alpha Theo has this power to even scare humans away. I have to think hard about this, including the risks involved. It's a good thing that this human girl doesn't know anything about the werewolf life and Theo's reputation of being a heartless, killing wolf. Mom could be right in her being scared, but it's a risk I have to take. No, we all have to take. I dialed Kendall's number, happy to let him know I might have found the perfect girl to be Theo's new mate. Hey, babe, Kendall answered. Kendall, I shouted a bit too loud. What's wrong? Did something happen to you? I'm on my way, babe, and then he cut the phone on me. What? That blockhead thought I was in danger. He's so sweet yet so stupid. I better not let him know I thought that. Mom, he just hung up on me thinking there was something wrong. What should I do? I didn't want him meeting you and Dad yet. I told my mom, who just shook her head smiling. Oh, it doesn't matter now. It's sweet that he cares to stop what he's doing to come for you. In less than 10 minutes, Kendall was here banging on the front door, yelling, "Open up, open up, open up." I shook my head at my overprotective mate. Wait, how the flip does he know where my parents' lives? I could have sworn I never told him that information unless he looked it up. I'm going to have to talk to him later about that. I opened the door only to be crushed in Kendall's death hug. "Kendall, you're killing me here." I pulled away from the death hug, taking a deep breath. "I'm only making sure you're safe and letting you know I love you." "Cheesy," I commented with a soft blush. I then saw something flash right before me. I turned my head to see my mom with a digital camera in her hands. "You've got to be kidding me. You're serious right now, Mom." I groaned, shaking my head, turning away. I turned back only to see the oddest moment I have ever witnessed. My mother having my mate pose for her. "Pose for me, Kendall. Work it, boy." "Yes," sighed. "Good, good, back, turn the head and meet the camera." "Good, good. Yes, honey. Work it, boy. Pout." "Yes, pout." My mother continued as Kendall, who was loving the moment of modeling for her, to which I was videoing him. I was so going to use this against him with showing Theo first. "Mom," I warned her and grabbed Kendall's arm. "We'll be back," I said, dragging Kendall out of the house. "So, what was with you wanting to see me?" Kendall asked me as we sat down on the porch. "I think I found the perfect girl for Theo. Though she is human, I have feeling that we shouldn't pass up this opportunity," I explained. Kendall's eyes widened. For now, he saw a change coming. "Are you serious?" He whispered. I could see the tears build up in his eyes. My eyes widened slightly. Wow, he must feel for Theo. Or could be he is proving to be an even bigger sissy than he already is. I went with the first one. It amazes me on how much he cares about Theo so much. "Positive. What's her name?" he asked. Luna Silverheart." I answered. He nodded and smiled. "Her name is the Luna title. This could be a sign," he randomly commented. I nodded and sighed, wanting his embrace as if he read my mind. "Come here." He gestured with his hands to make me sit on his lap in a straddling manner. I went to him and straddled him, my face buried inside his neck, taking in his sweet scent. "I love you," I said, breathing calmly. "I love you too," he replied, inhaling my scent. I wonder, though, is this fate that I found someone perfect for Theo with the name Luna? I better get this plan rolling. "Kendall, did you ask Theo about the book club as I asked?" Noticing Kendall get all silent on me told me he forgot. "Don't worry, I'll get on that right away." Pack House Theo's POV. "Austin, I need you and some of the pack warriors to search my grounds. I was just told that Rouge were spotted. Make sure the Rouge does not get away." "Yes, Alpha," Austin replied, leaving. I sighed, leaning back in my chair. "Are you still bothered by her?" my wolf Midnight asked. I rolled my eyes. "No, Isabella means nothing to me. The same goes for Arabella. Why do you ask? Do you miss them or something?" "No, I do not even think of them as mates at all. The moon goddess is cruel to have given us mates like them. However, our first mate was my fault for her runaway." Midnight said in a sad tone that was unlike him. Though he was right, I did not blame him. He just had a bad temper like me, and I am to blame in what happened to her too. "Love is not for us," I told him. "But this mate thing will not stop me from being who I am. It's best to just move on." "I agree. But when the time comes, we will need an heir to become the next alpha of this pack." I stayed quiet. I did want to say he was right. I will indeed have to find someone to bear me a pup, but I know that won't happen. I also will not mate with a slut who is just willing to be fucked. I rather it be a loyal girl who is strong to carry my pup. Who's to say I'll even make a great father? That wraps up Chapter 5. Tell me what you all think. Don't forget to vote, comment, share. With love, Little Cho 107, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. Mark Twain, the human heart has hidden treasures, in secret kept, in silence sealed the thoughts, the hopes, the dreams, the pleasures, whose charms were broken if revealed. Charlotte Bront, Theo's POV. I stared at Kendall with an annoyed look on my face. Ever since his Sabrina sent me a video to me of Kendall posing like a crazy model, I can no longer see him as a man with pride, or anything for that matter. "Okay. Theo, I have a favor to ask you," Kendall said, taking a step closer. "Geez, what is up with him and his favors? Can't he do anything on his own anymore? What is it this time?" I sighed out. You see, Sabrina had a book club in her former pack, but ever since she left to our pack, her former dickhead of an alpha disbanded the club. So my mate wants to know if she can have her book club here so her friends can come over. I groaned. If I say yes to this, will you leave me alone with all your favors? Yes, he beamed with a giant smile. I could kiss you. Come near me, and it will be the last thing you ever do. I have a question for you. What is it? Will you be joining this book club as well? I wouldn't mind. If my mate wanted me, so how could I say no to her? He shouted a little too loud. Oh dear Lord, is he our beta? If word gets out that our beta is a sissy, our pack will be a laughing stock. My wolf Midnight shouted. Yup, it's official. Kendall lost his pride as a man. Not that there's anything wrong with a man joining a book club. Right. You can leave now, Kendall. I have important work that needs to get done. I lied. I was already done with all my work. I just didn't want to keep talking to him. He may be my beta and best friend, but damn, he's creeping me out. I watched Kendall leave my office, and I swear I could have seen him skipping. Is this what a mate does to you? No, I believe that's just him. Midnight said. Great. So I have to deal with this kind of beta? Midnight chuckled. His mate is more of a man than him. Just the other day, she lifted him out of the room so that he would clean up the mess he made last night in the kitchen. I couldn't help but smile, letting out a soft chuckle. No one has seen me smile nor chuckle, let alone laugh, but my wolf and Kendall. I like to share these kinds of moments with my mate, showing her I'm not that bad of a person, or that I'm not just some bloodthirsty wolf. Another rush of pain flowed through me, but it wasn't that strong. I even know for a fact that this pain is not caused by Isabella. It seems that our first mate, Arabella, has found her second chance mate, Midnight said with a slight bit of sadness in his eyes. I, however, did not care if she did. But I will have to face her and Isabella again so that I can reject Arabella as my mate and accept the rejection from Isabella. I hope we can do it soon. I can't stand feeling this for any longer. I nodded in agreement. Before I was about to get up, I heard a knock at the door. Come in, I said, noticing Austin coming in. What is it? Alpha, I found my mate. Austin said, looking straight at me. Okay, is the moon goddess doing this to me on purpose? Having others find their mate so they can tell me to make me feel nothing. But something seemed off. Austin did not look so happy about it. Why the long face, I asked. I rejected her, he said. I did not expect this from him. If I recall, he was always excited about finding his mate. Why did you reject your mate? Her name is Clover, and she's from our beta female's old pack. I nodded my head for him to continue. He sighed. She's also the pack slut. I had a feeling that was coming. Why else would he reject her? Midnight said with a knowing look. I see. Maybe you can find your second chance mate soon, I said. I'm not good at comforting others, especially on this kind of matter. Better than not saying anything. Midnight sighed. I guess you're right, Alpha. Thank you, Austin said before leaving. That had to be the first time other than my sissy beta has ever said thank you to me. Felt kind of nice. Austin's POV. What the hell am I going to do now? It could take a long time for me to find my second chance mate. What if my second chance mate is already taken or just another pack slut? Hey man, what's up? I turned, meeting Kendall holding his mate Sabrina's hand. I envied that. Not much. What about you two? I asked. Both Sabrina and Kendall had a dark smirk on their faces. Should I be worried? You see, Austin, me and Kendall are coming up with an insane plan to get Alpha Theo to fall in love with a human girl that I met at a flower shop the other day, Sabrina explained. Are they both sick in the head? Why a human and not another she-wolf? Hold on. Why a human girl? Why not another she-wolf? I asked. Because this girl might be the one, so we are risking it. Do you want in? Kendall asked me. I thought about it for a moment. We do need a Luna, and Alpha Theo may be cruel-hearted and scary, but he deserves love. Most of all, he cares greatly for this pack. I know he can change. As his Delta, I will do anything for my Alpha. Sounds good to me too. Alex, my wolf, said. I nodded. I'm in. So, what's the plan and how do we proceed? Let's talk somewhere else. We don't want Alpha Theo to hear us. Sabrina said with an evil glint in her eyes. Why do I get the feeling her plan might be too extreme? It'll be the most excitement we had all year. Alex snickered. Shut up, I told him. That wraps up Chapter 6. Don't forget to vote, comment, share. With love, Little Cho 107, there is no end to education. It is not that you read a book, pass an examination, and finish with education. The whole of life, from the moment you are born to the moment you die, is a process of learning. Jiddu Krishnamurti, a book may be compared to your neighbor. If it be good, it cannot last too long. If bad, you cannot get rid of it too early. Henry Brooke, Sabrina's POV. Kendall, I told you before, you and Austin are to find out where you know who lives. My friends are coming over right now for the book club, and I don't want you two here. I sighed in frustration. You're overworking yourself again. Winter, my wolf, told me. Hey, you know it's how I get things done around this place. After all, it's thanks to me we found someone and came up with the plan. I told her, setting the chairs the way I wanted them. Don't worry, we are leaving now, Austin said, dragging a pouting Kendall out the door. To my surprise, the girls were already here. Alina, Bailey, Catalina, Daisy, you all made it, I shouted, happily hugging them. Well, we were scared at first, but here we are, Bailey said, stepping in the pack house with the others following along. Just one thing I have to tell you. There's one more girl with us. I tilted my head. Who? Catalina stepped out of the way to reveal Clover, the pack slut. Oh, hell no. This cannot be happening. I turned my head to see a very shocked Austin looking at her, but masked his shock with a cold expression. Clover held the same expression too, but another expression I couldn't make out. Sorry, Sabrina. Alpha told us to bring her along, Daisy said. It's cool. Welcome, Clover, to our book club, I said with a fake smile. Yeah, whatever, she replied, not paying attention to me. Damn, I like to punch her so bad. Lucky for me, Kendall and Austin left. I didn't want her checking out my mate or cause any problems with Austin. If she did, we would give her a slow, painful death, Winter said in a low, deadly voice. Having the girls seated down in the living room, we began our book club. During that time, I could see that Clover was not at all paying attention to what we were saying or doing. I found it annoying, but it did give me time to tell my girls a great plan I had for Alpha Theo to find love once again. They at first thought my plan was crazy and suicidal, but they eventually agreed to help me out. Hey, Sabrina, where's the bathroom? Alina asked. Down the hall to your left, I pointed out. Thanks, she said, heading to the bathroom. I turned to Clover. So, Clover, what did you think about the book club? Boring. I'd rather go out and have fun than be here, she said with a dull look in her eyes. No wonder your mate Austin rejected you, Catalina said with a smirk. By the looks of it, I could see Clover glare at Catalina in a very deadly way. Shit. If this goes on, Alpha Theo will be pissed to see two she-wolves fighting in his living room. I have to stop this now. Okay, that's enough. Let's not have any fighting. Do you want my Alpha down here? That seemed to get their attention fast. Hee, nice. I should use his name more often. Before I had the chance to talk again, we all heard Alina's small scream. I rushed over to where she was with the others following behind. Alina, what's wrong? I saw her on the floor, scared out of her wits. She's white as a ghost. What happened? Daisy asked, kneeling next to her. I saw your Alpha covered in blood, Alina explained, holding onto Daisy's arm. Damn, Alina must have seen him come back rouge hunting. That's not a sight you want to see. I'm not even used to seeing it. Come on, let's go back to the living room, I suggested, helping Alina up with the help of Daisy. Clover looked at the time, noticing it was getting late. I told the girls to head on the pack to their pack and think over what I told them. I also mentioned to them that things will start tomorrow. Something told me Alina was having second thoughts in helping out. I couldn't blame her. She saw a very frightening sight. Please, Moon Goddess, let this plan go well. Kendall's POV. Man, the ride to the flower shop was intense. Austin was dead silent the whole time we were driving, and it was starting to get to me. Just remember that his mate he rejected was back there. You have no idea how he's feeling. Noah, my wolf, said with a sigh. Fair point. I continued to drive. I looked up to see the flower shop Sabrina told me about. Parking the car, I got out with Austin following behind. It looks nice, Austin said. Finally, he spoke. It's too girly for my liking, I said, looking at the flowers. Says the guy who begged his mate to join her book club, Austin said with a smirk. He walking inside the shop, looking around. We noticed an old woman at the counter. Excuse me, miss. We are looking for somebody who works here, I asked the old woman. She looked up at me with her gray eyes and smiled. My word, 2 handsome men came here to ask that? I chuckled while Austin just smiled. Well, you see, is there a girl named Luna here? I asked. The old lady looked at us with amusement. Came here to ask her out like all the other fellows who failed in the end. I could hear Austin try to hold back his laugh. Oh no. I already have a girlfriend. I just wanted to meet her. I saw the flowers that my girl bought from here, and she told me about a girl named Luna who helped her out, so I was wondering if she would help me out too. I lied. Austin mouthed me smoothed. I just glared at him to shut up. Go back to being a silent dead person. Okay, that was harsh. She's in the back cleaning up. I'll go get her, the old woman said, leaving to the back room. Wow, that was a great lie, my friend, Austin said, laughing. Oh, shut up. You know how I hate to lie. We waited for like a good 2 minutes for the old women and Luna to come out. Hello, you wanted to see me? A very sweet voice spoke out. I and Kendall looked where the voice comes from on to be frozen in place. You could say that Sabrina was not kidding about her beauty. This is going to get interesting. That's it for Chapter 7. Tell me what you all think. Don't forget to vote, comment, share. With love, Little Cho 107, a black cat among roses, phlox, lilac misted under a quarter moon, the sweet smells of heliotrope and night-scented stock. The garden is very still. It is dazed with moonlight, contented with perfume. Amy Lowell, others said May was best. That sweet green time when lilacs bloomed and gardens along Main Street were filled with sugary pink peonies and Dutch tulips. Alice Hoffman, a lilac is pure like the heavens. Me, seeing the two men standing in front of me with such shocked expressions on their faces, made me giggle a little. I could even tell that my giggled snapped them out of it with a cute hint of a blush that seems to come across both their cheeks. Here I go again. You wanted to see me? I asked. I wonder what they wanted. I just hope it's not to be asked out again like yesterday or the day before that. It gets in the way of me doing my work. All I want is to just focus on tending to the flowers. Oh, right. My name is Kendall and this is my friend Austin. You see, my girlfriend came here recently buying some flowers for her mom, and she told me about you and how you know your flowers. Oh, now I see. That girl is his girlfriend. Now that I have seen them both, they do make such a cute couple. I smiled. Linda told me that you needed my help. I looked at Kendall to see him very nervous. Why does he look that way? Well, I don't need help, but I came here to ask you something, he said in a low voice. Wow, this is the first time I have seen a man act this way. What is it that you wanted to ask me? Sabrina, my girlfriend, wants to know if you like to join her book club. You know, of like girl talk and stuff. How come? I had to know the reason first. I'm not going to join anything without a good reason. Sabrina seems to have taken a liking to you and maybe become friends soon. That's only if you want to. The look of determination in his eyes seemed like he would not back down. It was almost as if something was at stake if I were to say no to him. Should I say yes or no? Well, it's not too hard to think about what harm could happen. Wait, better not jinx that. I love to join her book club. When is it? Looks like my answer made both Kendall and Austin very happy. It's this Friday at 5 if that works with you. That's no problem. Can I have the address? Kendall wrote down the address, handing it to me. I took the piece of paper in my pocket. This sounds like fun. I can't wait. I have never been in a book club before. The only club I ever been to was the tennis club. Thanks so much. Well, we best get going now. See you there, Luna. Before they left, I grabbed Austin's arm gently. Is something wrong? Austin asked, confused. Just because someone has done you wrong does not mean they don't deserve a second chance, I said, leaving him in wide eyes like I knew something in which I did. Just not the whole situation. I see many like him with eyes so lost. Watching them hop into their car driving away, I sighed. My dear, what did you mean by telling him that? Linda asking me, rocking in her chair. It could tell by the look on his face and the pain in his eyes that someone who he wants to love did something to hurt him. He is torn on what needs to be done. After all, one must need love in life. You're very wise for your age, Luna. It makes me think you are some saint that heaven has bestowed upon us. Linda smiled. I giggled. There is a saying, one must grow up without growing old. Why don't we close the shop early today? I have some things at home that need to be done. I nodded, closing the shop, saying goodbye to Linda, heading on home. I wonder what the book club is really about. Also, this Sabrina girl seems to have something in mind. I may not look it, but understanding one's motives is something I'm truly best at. Let's just hope it's something that I can handle. Making it home safe and sound, I took a nice warm shower that always I feel so good and clean. Stepping out, I put on my cozy pajamas, then wrapped my hair in a bun. The sun was now setting, so I started to make dinner. I love making mashed potatoes with chicken. I placed a movie, enjoying my dinner. Times like this, I did feel very lonely. Most of my friends are in another state having the best of time. I even heard news of my friend Blair owning her coffee shop in New York. I'm so happy for her. Back in college, she would always talk about having her shop, saying she will make it big. I miss her. I'll have to go visit her soon. It makes me wonder if her mom is still pestering her to find a man. From my understanding, she does have someone she likes but won't let it out. Checking my phone, it's now past 10. Time for me to hit the hay. Cleaning up my dish, I turned off the TV, heading up to my room. I jumped into bed feeling tired. My room was the color of lilac, but my rug was that of a plum kind of color that fits the room well. Lilac has always been my favorite flower since I was a kid. It was also my mother's too. This color suited me so well. Not many costumers like the flower. The top-selling flower is always the rose. The rose may be beautiful as the symbol of love and passion, but one must not forget that the lilac is the meaning of one's first love. Closing my eyes, I fell into a peaceful sleep, even if it was just in the afternoon. The excitement in my stomach was telling me that Friday needs to hurry up and come. I'm truly looking forward to seeing Sabrina again. Sometimes you don't realize your own strength until you come face to face with your greatest weakness. Susan Gale, true strength is keeping everything together when everyone expects you to fall apart. Unknown, anyone can give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. But to hold it together when everyone else would understand if you fell apart, that's true strength. Unknown, something was up. I could just tell that Kendall and his mate are up to something. I don't like how they're both being very secretive with me. Even Austin is in on it too. Just what are the three of them planning on? Alpha, about the meeting that's taking place in about 2 weeks, I need to know who will be attending with you besides your beta. Not taking my eyes away from my paperwork, I just continued looking over my work. I didn't want to look at Cameron, who is my messenger. I was just not in the mood to look at his face. Also, because he is shaking in fear. Besides my beta Kendall, I'll be also taking Sabrina, my female beta, and Austin, my delta. There was no one else who I thought would be good to come with. Those three I trusted the most. Right, I'll let the Alpha King's beta know. With that, he rushed right out of my office. I was going to kill him. Even though I won't. Is this meeting being about how so many Rouges have been attacking other packs looking for some kind of stone? Midnight asked, even though he knew the answer to his question. I believe so. The one thing we don't know for sure is what kind of artifact it is and why the Rouges are after it. It makes me wonder what the Alpha King plans on doing. Thinking more on what to do, I turned my head to look out the window only to notice Kendall talking to Cameron with a serious look on his face. What could they be talking about so seriously like that? Why don't we order Cameron tell us what's going on so we can have the jump on Kendall? We have done so in the past. Midnight said, wanting to know what was going on. Me and him both don't like when our pack members hide things from us. I find it very disrespectful. I headed outside to confront Cameron, seeing now how he is alone in thought. I could tell it had to be something important. Cameron, we need to talk. My voice was very stern, which snapped him out of thought. Why, yes, Alpha. Cameron said, not looking into my eyes. I want to know what you and Kendall have been talking about. You know I don't like secrets kept in my pack. Well, you see, Alpha, Kendall wishes for me not to tell anyone, even you. How dare he not tell me what's going on? I am his Alpha. I need to punish him. You will tell me what you were talking about, or do I have to use my Alpha command on you? Seeing the fear in his eyes, he swallowed hard. My Alpha command is a power only Alphas can use. This power allows us to make a person talk and they can't disobey it. You see, Alpha, what Kendall didn't want you to know is that he's planning on wearing his mate's clothes to show off how good he looks at the book club. He's also going to be asking you soon if you will give him a score on how good he will look. I didn't want to say anything because this was hard for me to talk about. For the first time in my life, I have never been so disgusted in an answer. I don't even know what to think anymore. Let alone, I don't think I can look at Kendall the same as I did. Now I wished I never asked. Moreover, I feel sorry for Cameron. This must have hurt to talk about. Tell him to drop dead. And if he ever comes to me wearing women's clothes, he will get his ass beaten. That was the only thing I told him before walking off into the woods just to forget about what just happened. Kendall sure is something, huh? Midnight chuckled. Don't you start with me, I said. Theo, what is it, Midnight? The sound of his voice was serious. There may be a chance that Arabella and Isabella may be coming to the meeting too. That's fine by me. The sooner I get things done with them, the better for me and you. I feel nothing for them, especially Isabella. That woman can burn in hell for all I care. Even when I first met her, I knew I would dislike her. I agree. She is not worthy of bearing our pup. Hey, Theo, what are you doing here? Kendall shouted, running up to me with that usual creepy smile. What do you want, Kendall? I asked, even though I might regret it. Shit, I should have just stayed silent and walked away. There is a phone call for you back in your office. Well, okay then. At least it was nothing crazy, I see. I'll be heading back now. Oh, and Kendall. What is it, Theo? If I ever see you in any type of women's clothing, I will not hesitate to drop kick you. With that, I rush out back to my office, hearing Kendall shouting, running after me. What the hell did you mean by that, Theo? Get your ass back over here, man. See, if anyone else shouted that to me, then they would be dead in a second. It's nice. Been a long time since I and Kendall acted this way, but who knows how long this feeling will last. You heard me, you damn sissy beta. That one comment had triggered Kendall into chasing me with fire in his eyes. If I remember correctly, he did this once back in high school when I spilled milk on his pants during lunch. He chased me all day till the sun went down. Looks like I won't be making that phone call anytime soon with him now on my ass. Theo up ahead. His mate, Midnight, pointed out. Perfect. Running at high speed, I jumped over Sabrina. In her distraction, she didn't notice Kendall right behind me as he tackled her down. That won't end well for him. I'll call that the luck of the devil, since his mate is sure going to give him hell. Be an encourage. The world has plenty of critics already by Dave Willis. Always help someone. You might be the only one that dose. By Anonymous, Luna's POV. Here I am laying down on my queen-size bed listening to the pouring rain. The dull color of gray that's covering the sky turns the scenery of my room gray also. This made me feel calm and relaxed, since tomorrow I'll be going to this book club that Sabrina invited me to. It is nice to finally meet new friends. Not that I'm saying I don't have any, but most of them are around the world living their own life. It can be a bit lonely since I don't hear from them often as I would like. I guess you could say that the outside of the rain and grayness is a locked-away emotion in my heart. I mask my emotion with a smile on my face throughout the days that go by. Many times, I would be asked if I'm okay and I'll say I'm fine. They would take my answer and leave it as it is. But am I really fine? I wish just once that someone would look me in the eyes and ask me if I'm really fine. Getting up from my bed, I head on downstairs, putting my shoes and jacket on. A walk in the rain should do me some good than staying in bed all day. I grabbed my keys and dark blue umbrella, heading out. I breathe in the smell that rainy days make. For some reason, it always brings back this nostalgic feeling. I just want to embrace this feeling for as long as I can. Gosh, I can be strange at times. I soon make my way to my favorite park that has the best view of its landscape. This is where I placed my time capsule when I was in high school. Just 2 more years till I get to dig it up. I forgot what I had put in the capsule after so many years that passed. I hope it wasn't something stupid. Feeling the wind start to pick up, I decided that it was time for me to head on back home. As I was about to leave, I see from the corner of my eye a figure leaning against the big oak tree. Wanting to know what it was, I started walking towards it. The more I got closer, I could see that it was a girl. What in the world is she doing out here in the rain? More importantly, what is she wearing? This girl has nothing but really short, dark fray booty shorts and a tight white shirt that made her breast pop out in a dangerous way. Hey there. Are you okay? I needed to make sure that she was okay first. I notice her look up to me. Wow, she looked really beautiful. Her hair looked like brown that reaches up to her waist, and her eyes were a deep shade of green. Go away. Can't you see I want to be alone? She told me in a snappy manner. Whoa, she's going to be a stubborn one. Not really. Now, why not tell me what's wrong? I can see that something is bothering you. Just looking at her, I could tell someone hurt her. She makes it too easy. Why would you care? You're just a stranger. I smile softly, setting my umbrella down, not caring if I get wet. I take a seat next to her just to give her the comfort she needs, even if she doesn't say. I find it better to talk to someone you don't know about problems. It makes it easy, don't you say? About 10 mins passed till she finally spoke up. It's always best to be patient so that a person can trust you. I got rejected by this guy I like, she said. So that's what's bothering her, huh? Why did he reject you? Did you do something wrong? I asked. In a way. Yes, you could say I'm known as a slut. I sleep with a lot of guys. He told me straight up to my face that he hates girls like me and left. Ouch. That's a bit cruel for him to say that. Did you ask him to give you a chance to change? She nodded. I did. However, he said no. Seeing him walk away broke my heart completely. All I wanted was a second chance to change, and I couldn't get it. At this point, she started to cry. How could he not give her the second chance that she needed? I pulled her into a warm hug while she cried on my chest. He's a fool not giving you that chance. But are you willing to just give up? The girl looked up to me, whipping her tears away. No, I'm going to keep trying, I smiled. Now that's what I like to hear from you. After all, you're a very beautiful girl with a strong will and kind heart. And as of today, I will help you. Why? Why would you help someone you don't even know? It's always best to give a helping hand to someone who very much needs it. I told her, getting up as I stand in front of her, holding out my hand to her. Also, because I want to become your friend. It looked like my words have given effect, since she finally gave out a small but cute smile that fit her well. She reached out for my hand, slowly helping herself up. You're the first person to ever listen to me and show me this much kindness in just one day. Thank you. Hey, what are friends for? I said. Let's meet up this weekend to go shopping for a whole new look. I gave her my number and my umbrella. Why are you giving me your umbrella? Don't you need it? You require it more than me. Keep it. I'll be going now, see you, I said, running off back home. It was still raining. Though running in the rain is so much fun. Wait, what's your name? She shouted. I turn around and shout back. Luna Silverheart. What's yours? Clover Reed. Clover shouted with a very warm smile. Clover, what a fitting name for her. Looks like I made a new friend. To be rejected by someone doesn't mean you should also reject yourself, or that you should think of yourself as a lesser person. It doesn't mean that nobody will ever love you anymore. Remember that only one person has rejected you at the moment, and it only hurts so much because to you, that person's opinion symbolized the opinion of the whole world, of God. Jocelyn Soriano, seeing Luna run off back home, I pushed my hair back into a messy, wet bun. I opened the blue umbrella Luna had given me and heading back to my pack house. Thinking about it, why am I even going back? It's not like I have any friends to greet me. I guess that's my fault for being who I am. To my alpha and everyone else, I'm just the back slut. If I could go back in time and stop myself from making the wrong choices, then maybe my mate would not have rejected me as he did. Those beautiful dark blue eyes that I saw only held sorrow as he saw me making out with a random pack member who I was aiming to fuck at the time. How could I have done such a thing? Why could I not keep it in my pants and waited for my mate? I guess what they say is true, hanging with the wrong crowd will only lead you to a painful future. Why could he have not given me a second chance? I know I would have changed for him. Nothing we can do now. Clover, our mate, has made up his mind. Hearing Aurora, my wolf's voice, sound so heartbroken and whimper, and thought of our mate rejecting us was hitting her hard. How could do this to her? Aurora had begged me to not sleep with one of the guys in the pack, yet I failed to listen to her. How fucked up can I be? Wanting to clear my head and get out of my wet clothes, I opened the front door to the pack house and stepped in. Closing the door behind me, I could hear giggling coming from the kitchen. Sounds like Alina and other 3 friends talking about God knows what. I didn't care. I quietly walked past the kitchen to head upstairs to my room for a nice warm shower, but I was stopped when Bailey called out to me. Clover, look at you. You look like a sad, wet dog. I put on a fake smile and turned to face Bailey, holding my sudden rage to tackle her down and rip her throat out. Annihilating her out of our life would be great, Aurora suggested, growling. Seriously, is that all you could come with? I see little kids around the pack house come up with better trash talk than that. It's like this girl is not even trying at all. Cute, but seeing as you are, you look like you were just walking the walk of shame. What, did you sleep with a guy and he made you walk back in the rain? Wow, it's like talking to a kid. Might as well play along. Awa. Are you upset that I'm getting some and you're not? Or are you still upset about how I slept with your boyfriend? Wait, I'm sorry, ex-boyfriend, now, right? I could see Bailey turn red with rage while I'm just standing here with a bright smile on my face knowing that I won this round. Bailey huffed, rolling her eyes, stomping back to the other girls. I could tell they started talking about me when I noticed Catalina look my way, then back at her friends, laughing. Whatever, I'm tired. I run up the stairs and into my room to take a long, hot shower to wash off the day's struggle. The only good thing that happens today was meeting Luna. Leaning on the shower wall, I thought back to what she told me. What are friends for? Let's meet up this weekend to go shopping for a new look. I smiled at that. Looks like I made a new friend. I stepped out of the shower, wrapping my yellow fluffy towel around me. Drying my hair off, I hear a knock at the door. Who could that be at this time? It's already closed to midnight. Opening my door, I see Liam, the Alpha's beta. He's also one of the guys I mess with from time to time. Judging from the smirk on his face, I could tell what he's after. Aurora was right on the mark when Liam closed the door behind him, pushing me onto the bed with him on top of me, kissing my neck. I cringed at the feeling. Mind keeping me company tonight, babe? Okay, what the hell did I ever see in this man? I mean, sure, he's good-looking and all, but his skills suck ass, and his naughty talk was not helping. I pushed him off me with a big, disgusted look on my face. This guy could never hold a candle to my mate. Liam, this is going to stop now. I'm in no mood to be fucked by you or any other guys in this pack. I'm done. Doing this is the only way for me to ever win back my mate's love and trust. What? Are you going to change just because your mate rejected you? Okay, that was the final straw. I grabbed Liam by the arm and dragged him out of my room, slamming the door in his face. I had it with him and the girls in this pack. I'm not one to say I'm all good, but still. I do need to change. Will you be taking the girl's offer and going shopping with her this weekend? Yeah, Luna seems like a cool girl. A little too trusting, but cool. I felt relaxed with her when we talked. I know, you have been smiling for real. It's not fake, I giggled. Aurora was right. I have been smiling for real. Something about that girl just felt different. I felt like I could trust her with anything. Maybe that's why I opened up to her on what happened with my mate. God, I must have seemed so pathetic to her. A pack slut like me being comforted by a stranger. Life works in mysterious ways, Clover. Laying down, gripping the sheets to my bed, closing my eyes, holding back the tears that threatened to fall. Aurora, I'm so sorry for not listening to you. I should have stopped and not had sex with that guy. I am sorry. I'll understand if you could never forgive me for it. Clover, I forgive you. Everyone makes mistakes. I can see that you are growing by wanting to change and better yourself. You're owning up to what you have done wrong. As your wolf, I'm proud of you. Now get some sleep, we both need it. I smiled. Thank you. Few people meet the first time they feel that meeting each other was the purpose of their life. Amit Kalantri, Luna's POV. Today is the big day. It's this day that I'll be heading over to some book club that Kendall's girlfriend Sabrina started. I do find this to be strange that they wanted to invite me. I mean, they don't know me at all. Putting on my light tan knit top, placed over my dark brown sweater with the sleeves of the collar sticking out. My light gray jeans go well with my top and my dark brown boots. Wanting to look my very best, I had to dress the best way possible, but not too overdressed. Grabbing my keys and purse off the counter, I lock my front door, heading out to walk to Sabrina's home. Walking is more fun for me, and it's a great exercise for the legs. It's not that I don't know how to drive, because I do. For me, I just prefer to walk and enjoy nature. Watching the seasons change before my eyes are so amazing. Since it's autumn now, the leaves' color changes from green to yellow, orange, brown, and even purple. This time of year makes me feel very cozy and more relaxed than even summer. Autumn is also best with warm cuddles if you're ever in a relationship, in which I'm not in. Finding someone to love is not easy in this day and age. Whenever I see an old couple together, I just smile. I want a love that lasts, where I can grow old together, living a happy life. The stories that I hear about love can be very beautiful but also scary. Love can heal a person and also destroy them. Love can be very risky, but worth the risk if you truly believe in it. Upon my arrival at Sabrina's home, a giant gate blocked my path. This must be the front gate, but I don't see anyone beyond its point. All that looks to be a path surrounded by trees. Figuring out how to get in, a big realization hits me like a ton of bricks. I don't have Kendall's number. He never gave it to me. This sucks. How am I supposed to get in now? If I don't show up, they'll think I skipped out and lied since I told him I'd be there. Rummaging through my purse to find the note Kendall gave me back at the flower shop, all is written is just the address and no number. Okay, really. It's always important to leave a number in case something like this happens. There's not much I can do at this point. I either stand here like some stalker watching the place, or I could just go home and order pizza. The second option sounds like a good idea, but knowing me, I guess I'll stick around and wait till someone comes out or in. Third person's POV. Luna sat down next to the gate, thinking calmly to herself, enjoying the nice breeze hitting her face. About 10 minutes have passed, and Luna jumped up hearing a nearby scream of a little girl coming from beyond the gate. Without any hesitation in her body, Luna attempts to climb over the gate, succeeding landing on her feet. Not wasting a single moment, Luna sprints into the woods to find the source of the scream. It didn't take long for her to see a little girl stuck up in a tree, holding onto the branch for dear life. The one question that crossed Luna's mind was how in God's name did this little girl climb a tree so damn high? This won't be easy. Luna said, climbing the tree nice and slow, almost reaching the girl. Just hold on. I'm almost there. Reaching out her hand for the girl grab, Luna also tries to calm the girl down so she can move forward. Luna is very determined to get this girl down to safety. I need you to slowly move towards me so I can grab you. Can you do that for me, sweetie? The young girl looked at Luna with tearing eyes and a frightened face. She was too scared to move in fear of falling. This didn't stop Luna from reaching out a little more to touch the girl's cheek to have her look Luna in the eyes. Some things are so unexpected that no one is prepared for them. Leo Roston, if you do not expect the unexpected, you will not find it, for it is not to be reached by search or trail. Heraclitus Kendall's POV. After watching Theo leave to go and take care of some business that happens, I smiled, turning back to everyone. All right, just because Theo told us to take down everything does not mean it's going to happen. Everyone is to finish up decorating for our special guest to arrive. I could tell by the look on everyone's faces that they were all unsure. Who could blame them, since Theo is one scary wolf you don't want to disobey in your lifetime? Kendall, are you sure about this? Alpha Theo was not too fond of us doing this sort of thing. Daisy, said one of my mate's close friends. I looked at Sabrina for some help. Luckily, Sabrina knew exactly what to do. Come on. If Kendall says it's all good, then we should trust him. Kendall knows Alpha Theo better than any of us, so let's give this a shot. With just those small words, everyone was back to set up for when Luna arrives. Thankfully, not much was left to be done, so now we all have to wait. Although I have to say that waiting sucks. The more one waits, the more one gets too impatient. I really hope Luna shows up, or all this would have been for nothing. Babe, are you okay? Sabrina asked, placing her hand on my shoulder, feeling how tense I've become. Just worried. I really need this all to work out. Theo may not seem to show it, but not having a mate to love really is hurting him. He says he's fine, but I know the truth. You know, Kendall. Theo is so lucky to have such a caring best friend like you by his side. Without you, I don't think anybody would ever want to have him for a leader. It's thanks to you that most of the pack can see Theo needs help. I said it once, and I'll say it again. Thank you so much, Moon Goddess, for giving me a mate like her. I leaned in, giving Sabrina a soft kiss on the cheek, thanking her. Now I don't feel as stressful as I did before. Hearing a knock at the door, I rushed over as everyone else stayed put. Please let it be Luna. I opened the door only to be disappointed. There stood a well-dressed girl with radiant green eyes. Babe, who is it? Sabrina asked, looking over only to give out a silent growl, followed by tusks by the other girls and pain look on Austin's face. What the hell is going on? Hi. Can I help you? I asked. Sorry, my name is Clover. I'm part of the book club too. I nodded, letting her in only to be dragged away to the kitchen by my mate, giving me a very serious look. I feel scared. Man up to you, sissy. Noah, my wolf, shouted. Oh, he's one to talk. Noah is afraid of Winter, my mate's wolf. Kendall, stay clear of Clover. Back in my old pack, she's known as the pack slut. She's also the girl Austin rejected. Oh, so that's the girl. She doesn't seem to be all slutty like I've heard. Are we sure we are talking about the right girl? Let's just go with it for now, Kendall. I rather not want to start up an argument with her. Noah was right. But I am going to talk to her and Austin about this later. What I noticed is that this Clover girl had the same look in her eyes like Theo. Fine, I'll stay clear. I told her, walking back to the living room, seeing Clover sitting down, her eyes looking at the floor in a sad manner. I turned to see Austin smiling, talking to Catalina. Is he for real right now? I understand the rejected her, but seeing her this way, I can see she wants to be with him. You know what, screw what Sabrina said about staying clear of her. I'm not going to let this slide. I walked up to Clover, getting her attention. She looked at me, holding back tears. Nice to meet you, Clover. My name is Kendall, and I'm this Pax Beta. I smiled, extending my arm out for her to shake. It's nice to meet you, Beta Kendall, she said, taking my hand, shaking it. Just from shaking her hands, I can feel all eyes burning the back of my head. I ever felt a death glare hitting me in Austin's direction. On how he's paying attention. Looks like when this day is over, I am going to kick his ass. Did he just reject her without giving her a second chance? This is just like Theo, no one gave him a chance. Poor girl. Kendall, what are you doing? Alina asked me. What does it look like I'm doing? I'm talking to a friend who everyone seems to be ignoring. My words were harsh and mainly directed to Austin. Sabrina looked at me with somewhat of anger. Oh God, I'm so going to pay for this tonight. Moon goddess, help me. This is on you. I have no say in saving you, ass. I ignored Noah. So, Clover, how do you like being in the book club? I really don't have much to say since I only been to it once. I'm not really into this kind of thing, but my alpha forced me to. Well, at least she was honest. Though it sucks that dick bag alpha forced her to. So glad I got my mate out of there. Clover, why did you bring an umbrella with you when it's not raining? Clover looked at the umbrella, smiling. A friend lent it to me when I got stuck in the rain. For some reason, something to me to bring it along. Funny. I didn't know the slut had any friends. Bailey rudely pointed out. Why are my mate friends with such bitches? Clover looked away, ignoring the comment as if already used to this kind of treatment. Please don't tell me Sabrina is not like them. Kendall, when did you say she was arriving? Austin spoke out, getting mine and Clover's attention. She should be here soon. I have her the address at the shop. Did you also put down your number? He asked. Number? Oh shit, I forgot to put down my number. What the hell is wrong with me? Lots of things, I just can't list them all. It will take days to get finished. Not helping Noah, I shouted. I'll be right back, everyone. I rushed out of the living room, opening the front door, rushing out only to be stopped by a damn wall in the way. Who the hell puts a wall in front of the door? Though it wasn't a wall I crashed into. It was a Theo looking at me, annoyed. What is going on, Kendall? I'm dead. The only way to find true happiness is to risk being completely cut open. Chuck Palahniuk, sometimes the slightest things change the directions of our lives. The merest breath of a circumstance, a random moment that connects like a meteorite striking the earth. Lives have swiveled and changed direction on the strength of a chance remark. Bryce Courtenay, second chances come in a lifetime, but a third chance is a miracle you don't want to waste. Little Cho 107, third person's POV. Everything was dead silent. So silent that you could hear a pin drop of the floor, and it would be the loudest thing you would hear. All eyes were on Alpha Theo, who had come back dealing with a pup who got lost, and Luna, who everyone was expecting for the party. Theo's eyes landed on Kendall's, who was still on the ground from bumping into Theo. What is going on, Kendall? I thought I had told you to take all this down. Kendall got up, dusting his butt off, as his eyes landed on Luna for a brief moment. A dark growl erupted from Theo, causing Kendall to look at Theo. I'm sorry about not taking it down, but this is a welcome party to welcome our new member, Luna. Theo's eyes never left Kendall's. Alpha Theo was beyond angry that no one followed his orders. I told you all to take it down. I can see no one wants to respect my orders. Luna was surprised to see how fast Theo changed into calm and loving to completely scary and deadly. It was as if he was a completely different person in her eyes. Deep down, it scared her. Luna felt something dark within Theo, but could tell what it was, nor did she ever want to know. Alpha, please, we just wanted to give a warm welcome to Luna. Austin spoke up, taking a stand next to Kendall to give him a hand. However, this did not go so well with Theo. 1 second was all it took for Theo to grab Austin by the neck, slamming him straight to the wall. Theo's eyes were black with rage. Austin gasped out, trying to breathe, getting out of Theo's stronghold. Clover gasped at the sight of seeing her mate in danger, but was too afraid to move and help Austin. Theo gave off a very powerful aura, frightening everyone. Kendall grabbed Theo's arm, trying to get him to release Austin. Austin was close to passing out from the lack of air. Austin's eyes landed on Clover's, fearing that it could be the last he ever sees her. No matter how much Kendall tried to get Theo to release him, his grip got stronger. Sabrina tried to help while the other girls cowered in fear. Lily ran upstairs, scared for her little life, leaving Luna to witness such horror. Without thinking, Luna's body moved on its own, running up to Theo, embracing Theo from behind, holding tight. She felt his body tense from the contact, though she kept on. "Theo, please release him. I beg you, don't kill him. I know deep down this can't be who you are. Where is that smile I saw just minutes ago after meeting you in the wood? Please let him go." Luna's words held much sadness mixed with fear. Her voice was cracked as tears started to spill down her cheeks. Theo's eyes reverted to his normal hazel eyes Luna found beautiful. His body began to relax, with Theo now loosening his grip on Austin's neck as he dropped to the ground, breathing for dear life. Clover ran to Austin, pulling him close to her, trying to comfort him. Both Theo and Luna slid down to the floor, but caught everyone by surprise was how Theo turned his body around, pulling Luna closer to him, laying his forehead at the crook of her neck, inhaling her scent, calming down. Luna gently rubbed Theo's back. Her mind was focused on just keeping Theo calm for as long as she can. Kendall and Sabrina helped Austin to his feet with Clover's help. Luna looked at Kendall, giving him a look of telling everyone to leave for now. Kendall got the message, leading everyone away. "I can't promise to fix all your problems, but I can promise you won't have to face them alone. Anonymous, I don't have much to offer, but I promise you can have the best of me." Anonymous, Kendall's POV. It's now morning and I'm still freaking out. How am I going to explain this all to Luna? Will she even understand what I'm trying to do? I do not doubt that when she wakes up, she's going to have like dozens of questions waiting to be answered. Right now, I'm standing in front of Theo's door where Luna is sleeping, or is she? Just knock on the door already. Noah barked, annoyed. Easier said than done. I barked back. Taking in a deep breath, I knocked on the door and waited to see if she was up. Better to get this over with and to stop acting like a scared cat. "Come in," Luna spoke through the door with such gentleness. "So she is up." Damn, her voice is very gentle. It's like I know this girl will make a great Luna to this pack. I need to act fast for the fact that Theo's father brought in that area girl here. I know Theo, and he will not have that woman as his mate. Opening the door slowly, I peeked my head in to see Luna sitting on the edge of the bed, looking out the window with the sun seeping through the shades. She looked so calm, as if nothing could bother her. "I'm glad you're okay. I'm sorry about WH," she cut me off. "Is Theo doing better now?" I blinked. Is Luna asking how Theo is doing? Does she already care about him? No, that's crazy. It's way too soon to tell anything, but I'm taking this as a good sign. Theo is doing just fine. He's in his office, drowning himself in work like a madman. Luna softly giggled, getting up from the bed. "I really should get going. I have work in about 3 hours. Luna explained. "Damn it, I can't have her leave now. Can I convince her to take a sick day? Would that be asking too much of her? Why am I asking that?" Of course, it will be too much to ask. "For the love of all things pure, you sound like a woman." Noah yelled loudly throughout my head that would leave one hell of a headache later if not now. "Can I talk to you about something before you leave?" I asked. "I don't see why not. What did you want to discuss?" Luna asked, looking right at me, waiting for me to say what I need to tell. "I'll get right to the point, Luna. I want you to get closer to Theo," I began. "I know this is out of the blue for you and I might seem crazy to you, but I think you could be his soul mate to better Theo. All I ask is that you give him a chance. Please." Silence fell upon the room. Damn, I think I just blew it. "You idiot. What were you thinking to tell her all that?" Noah growled. I came out like a panic. I couldn't help it. I shouted at him. "My wolf is too mean to me." "I'll do it," Luna said. I looked at you surprised. "Are really?" I asked. "Is my hearing playing jokes on me?" I will admit that when I held Theo close to me, I felt something pull me to him. That is why I'll do it. I too want to get to know Theo. Is it just me, or do I hear hallelujah in the background? I grabbed Luna's hand, shaking it rigorously. "Thank you so much, Luna. You don't know how this makes me feel. I could just cry." Luna laughed. I think you already are crying. She pointed out to my cheeks, seeing my tears running down. Holy crap, I am tearing. I better not let Sabrina hear about this. Too late on that, Noah said. Fuck you, Noah, I growled. I let go of Luna's hands, leading her out of Theo's room. With that one moment from steeping out the room, we could hear Theo's yell from his office. Damn, his father wasted no time in introducing Aria. Before I knew it, Luna was racing down the hall to Theo's office. This girl is brave. Luna's POV. I raced down the hallway towards the yelling, coming to a halt in front of 2 double doors that read Theo's office, where all the yelling was coming from. Not only could I hear Theo's yelling, but 3 other people's voices. One sounded serious, while the other sounded sad, and one just plain rude. Theo, please just give Aria a chance. She's a well-known warrior who could help you lead this pack. Warrior? Pack? What is that man talking about? Looks to me there is more going on here that Kendall failed to tell me. Before any more words were spoken, I let myself in the room, grabbing the attention of everyone in it. There stood Theo, breathing heavily, ready to attack like a wild animal. A man and a woman who resembled Theo is in some ways. They must be his parents. Then there's this woman who is looking at me with disgust. What stick got stuck up her ass? Who are you? How dare you let yourself in here? The man who I believe to be Theo's father said. I ignored him and head straight to Theo. I cupped his cheek, having him look at me to calm down. I'm glad that he didn't pull away, but he leaned into my touch. Watching his eyes turn back to its normal color had me relieved. Theo was now calm. He pulled from my hands, facing the other 3 who had shocked expressions written all over their faces. Son, who is this woman? The woman asked, who is now, I know, Theo's mother. Before Theo could explain, I spoke up. Sorry for my interruption and rudeness, but my name is Luna. I'm Theo's girlfriend. Not only shocked evident, but so was surprised. Even with a stone face, I can see Theo shocked by my choice of words. Why I said I was his girlfriend is beyond me. What a load of crap. This rude girl said with her hands on her hips. Don't stand here and lie saying you're Theo's mate when I'm here to be his rightful mate. Just before I could speak, Theo wrapped his arms around me, growling in a threatening manner, making the rude woman flash a hint of fear in her eyes. Watch what you say. I will have no problem having you leave this pack in a body bag. Theo threatens her. Theo, is this woman your girlfriend? His father asked. Theo took a deep breath, looking at me, then at his father. Yes, we are great mysteries. No matter what we imagine we may know, even for all the facts we might gather, we don't know each other. Never do, probably never will. Our reputations depend on the opinions of the ill-informed. We all have better moments than anybody ever knows, and so do all the others. We are, each one of us, books that are read by critics who only glanced at the chapter headings and the jacket flap. Each one of us is a secret, and on that basis, we ought to treat each other with the deepest respect. Garrison Kaler, 20 minutes before Luna walked in, a soft knock at the door got Theo to snap out of his deep thoughts, only to be greeted by his parents and some other woman whose demeanor did not sit well with him. Theo, I like to have a word with you, his father said, taking a seat with his mother by his side. Theo had noticed that the mystery girl has not taken her eyes off him. In honesty, he had to suppress a growl from escaping his lips. What is it you want to talk about, father? Christane cleared his throat to speak. I like you to meet Aria. She's a warrior from the Blue Thorn pack. I like you, Theo, to place her as Luna of this pack and your new mate. Theo's eyes turned dark with anger, the nerve of his father for even suggesting such a thing. He took a look at Aria again and can only feel disgusted. Just by looking at her, Theo can tell she would not make for a great mother. Her eyes show she has a thirst for power. Theo had a hatred for she-wolves who only seeks power through ranks. She's a very strong warrior, a perfect match for you. His mother said in a desperate tone. Stress was evident in his mother's eyes. Seeing his mother in such a state made him feel bad. I refuse to take this woman as my mate. His father stood up. Theo, I beg you to see reason. You already lost your first and second mate. Aria is a tough woman unlike the other 2 and will do her best in being a great mate and Luna. I don't like repeating myself, father. I refuse, and that's final. Theo growled out, his eyes turning gold, indicating his wolf midnight was ready to come out. Look here. I'm the best shot you're ever going to get, Aria said, standing up. Theo's eyes went back to her with his growl shaking the room. With one kick, he destroyed the coffee table, shattering it to pieces across the room. "Watch your tone with me, bitch. I am the alpha of this pack and you will show me your respect," Theo shouted in his alpha voice. Aria's eyes flashed with a hint of fear and she submitted to him. "Keep quiet." Footsteps can be heard coming closer to the room. The door opens, revealing Luna with a worried look on her face. Her light brown eyes scanned the room till her eyes landed on Theo. "Who are you? How dare you let yourself in here?" Christian asked. Luna ignored him and headed straight to Theo's side. She cupped his cheek, having him look into her eyes to calm down. Luna was glad that Theo didn't pull away, but instead he leaned into her touch. She watched his eyes turn back to its normal color, making her relieved. Theo was now calm. He pulled from her hands, facing the other three who had shocked expressions written all over their faces. "Son, who is this woman?" his mother asked, looking at Luna. Before Theo could speak, Luna spoke first. "When dealing with people, remember you are not dealing with creatures of logic, but with creatures bristling with prejudice and motivated by pride and vanity." Dale Carnegie, Theo's POV. I sat in the room filled with silence and tension. My father pacing around the room. As for my mother, she just sat next to Aria, who was giving me a hard look. "Is your father just going to walk around or talk already?" Midnight muttered, annoyed. I sighed. "Who knows? When did you meet this girl, Theo?" My father asked me, trying to understand the situation. He really couldn't believe I had a girlfriend now, even if the whole thing is a lie. "You know it can't be a lie with her being our mate," Midnight said. I could tell he was thinking of Luna, and so was I. "Would she want that?" "I met her 2 days ago," I replied. 2 days ago? My father shouted. "You barely know the girl, and from her scent we all can tell she's human. Does this girl even know who you are, Theo? Have you told her?" My mother asked, finally speaking up. My father looked at me hard in the eyes. "Does she, Theo?" I breathed out. "No, I have not told her. It's far too soon for that." Aria snorted. "Ha, once the girl knows who you are, she will run like a pathetic human she is." I growled low and threatening. "This bitch is pushing it." "Aria, that's enough." "But she has a point, Theo. What if she doesn't accept you? What will you do then?" He was right. What if I was to date Luna and show her who I am? "It's possible Luna could reject me." Midnight whimpered at the thought, as if it hurt him. He's never whimpered before. A sickening feeling raced across my stomach at the thought of Luna leaving me. Why am I feeling this? I balled my hands into a tight fist, my knuckles turning white. If Luna is to reject me, I still refuse to make Aria my mate. My father sighed. "That's not your choice, Theo. Every alpha needs a Luna to run a pack. If this girl rejects you, then you have no choice but to make Aria your Luna. This decision is final." Luna's POV. I wanted to spend the day with Theo today, but he told me he wants to make things clear with his parents first before I properly meet them. Something tells me that I won't be accepted so easily. I sat at a park bench watching kids run around having fun on this nice sunny day. Wait, why am I worrying about this? I and Theo are only pretending to be a couple. Theo is very handsome and can do way better than me. Why would he waste his time on a girl like me? Also, what's with everyone calling him Alpha? I even one time heard Kendall be referred to as Beta. Then there are the growls and Theo's eyes changing into gold when he's mad. Something is up. I know I'm not being told the full story in all this. I feel like detective mode wants to come out. Luna. "Is that you?" I snapped out of my deep thoughts to see Clover. "Clover!" I jumped from my seat, tackling her into a tight hug. "How you been?" "It's to see you too, Luna," Clover said back. "Oh, here, this is yours." Clover handed me back my umbrella I hand-lent to her. Did she go through all this trouble to give it back? What a sweetheart. Everyone has untold stories of pain and sadness that make them love and live a little differently than you do. Stop judging, instead try to understand. Anonymous judging a person does not define who they are. It defines who you are. Wayne Dyer, how could Kendall say that to me? Why would he take Clover's side? I may not know her fully, but I know enough to know she's a horrible person who sleeps around. I remember the pain Bailey was in when she found out Clover slept with her boyfriend. How could she? What made it worse is that Clover didn't even care nor apologize for her actions. Kendall just doesn't understand at all. "I believe you're being too stubborn in the Sabrina," Winter said, my wolf. "Stubborn? What are you talking about, Winter?" Kendall just doesn't understand how I or Austin feels. Winter sighed. I think you're the one who doesn't understand. What the? Winter too. Hey, what do you mean I don't understand? Winter ignored me, leaving me alone. What is happening? What am I not getting? I decided to look for Kendall and talk to him. He's the one being unfair in all this. Does he not understand I don't want Clover to seduce him? I tried mind-linking Kendall, but nothing. He must have cut the link so he couldn't be found. Just my luck. Sabrina. I turned to see Luna standing next to Clover, arms linked together. Are they friends? What the hell is going here? Hey, what's going on here? I asked. Luna smiled. I and Clover are going to go shopping. Want to join us? Sorry, I'm not in the mood. I have to go, I said, walking away from them. Just great. A possible friend I wanted is friends with Clover. My mate is mad at me for not understanding Clover. Why is it only her? What is so special about her? I felt a soft hand on my back to see it was Luna. This time alone. Sabrina, let's talk. There is nothing to talk about, Luna. I lied. That's not true, and you know that. Don't you have some shopping to do with Clover? I said snappily. I didn't mean to be snappy, but I just feel irritated. I told Clover to wait for me so that I can talk to you. Sabrina, what's wrong? I sighed deeply. If things go well with her and Theo, she will be our Luna. I have to start respecting her. I don't understand why you all are taking Clover's side. She's not an angel. Luna smiles, gently shaking her head. No one ever said she was. Why do you dislike her? Here we go again. I dislike Clover because she hurt my best friend. She slept with her boyfriend and didn't care. I didn't even apologize. There have also been times when she's been rude to me. Luna blinked. Is that all? What do you mean? I asked. Is there supposed to be more? If that's all for disliking a person, then that tells a lot about you than the other person. You don't know the pain and tears she hides. The mistakes she regrets. I didn't ignore her when I saw her crying under a tree in the rain. I didn't judge her when she told me how she was in the past. She just needed a friend. I gave her a second chance. We may stumble and fall, but shall rise again. It should be enough if we did not run away from the battle. Mahatma Gandhi, in a battle, all you need to make you fight is a little hot blood and the knowledge that it's more dangerous to lose than to win. George Bernard Shaw area paced around her guest bedroom, where she was staying, fuming at the thought of her losing to a human girl. Theo is her one-way ticket to power and to be a well-known Luna to all packs. Having Theo would give her just that. But her plans have come to a halt now that this human girl is in the picture. What bothered Arya was the fact Theo seems to be taking a liking to her. How could this human girl not be afraid of him? Most humans can feel the monstrous aura around him. Why don't we scare the girl away? Grace said. Arya's wolf. I'm listening, Arya said, now interesting in what Grace had to say. Challenge the girl. Show her that she is no match for us. This will prove to Theo and everyone that a human mate is useless to lead a pack. There is a problem with that plan, Grace. The girl doesn't know about us being werewolves. Theo has to tell her. Why don't we speed it up and show her ourselves? We will even have the pack doctor on standby to erase her memory. I like that idea. Let's do this. Arya left her room, walking around the pack house to find Luna since she knew she was visiting today. There Arya saw her talking with another she-wolf. Arya made herself closer to Luna, where the other she-wolf noticed Arya walking towards them with an intense gaze locked on Luna. Is something the matter, Clover? Luna asked as she followed Clover's gaze to Arya, who was not standing before them. Luna could tell from the look in Arya's silver eyes that she was up to something. Is there something you need from me? Luna asked Arya with a smooth, calming voice that showed no hint of fear laced in her words. Damn girl thinks she tough. Wait till we humiliate her, Grace said, growling. Arya smirked darkly at Luna, sizing her up, and could tell beating Luna up would be easy. Luna looked back at Clover with a serious look on her face, telling her to go get help. Clover understood yet felt to stay so that Luna is protected since she is human, and taking on a warrior wolf was suicidal. Please, Clover, Luna said with pleading eyes. Clover gripped her fists, running off to get help in the pack house, hoping the alpha was there. Luna and Arya stood out in the open. Arya smug at her chances of beating a weak human girl. How could Luna have even managed to get the heart of an alpha? Arya was high over her head, though. Luna might have been just a human, but that didn't mean she was at a disadvantage. Many pack members who were around stopped what they were doing to watch what was happening. Some not wanting to get involved mainly at Aria's call, so she could show them how their so-called future Luna would be brought down so fast. A human against a wolf, both without weapons or protection. Everyone would know the outcome. Even with Aria in her human form, her strength was something undeniable. Aria lunged at Luna quickly. Luna jumped up and flipped forward over landing back down. Logically thought here was to not make the first move. Making the first move never guarantees that you'd win. Aria growled and threw a punch. Luna blocked the punch just barely, but quickly flipping Aria's whole body back with Luna swinging her leg up. Before Aria could notice, the flat of Luna's foot connected with her jaw, and Aria was sent backward through the crowd and skipping across the ground. Many were quiet, exchanging looks of surprise and question. Luna stood, embarrassed, but happy she was able to end it without anything too serious being damaged. Stepping forward with the most surprised look on their face was Alpha Theo. Behind him was Kendall, Sabrina, and Clover along with Theo's parents. Aria slowly got up from the groan, now furious with having to be humiliated by a human. Her eyes turning black as she shifted in her dark gray wolf. Aria lunged for Luna's neck at full speed. "Luna!" Theo yelled as he too shifted into his wolf. His eyes glowing gold with his sleek midnight black fur fangs bearing at Aria, as he leaped into the air, tackling Aria down to the ground, hard, howling, deep growl that seemed to shake the ground beneath them. Aria whimpered under Theo's stronghold, unable to get up. Theo was beyond furious. His wolf, and he wanted blood. He was prepared to kill Aria before Lunar stepped forward, still in shock after the fact of witnessing Aria and Theo turn into wolves. Luna slowly walked towards them, ignoring the calls of Theo's father telling her to step back. What is this girl thinking? She's going to get herself killed. "Sir, let Luna handle this." Kendall growled out, holding Sabrina's hand tight, showing he too was nervous. He didn't want Luna to be hurt if something was to go wrong, but all he could do is watch and trust in her. "Don't kill her, Theo. Please," Luna said in a trembling voice. Luna stood her ground when Theo growled, darkly, still angry. She slowly walked more forward, extending her hand out, reaching to touch the side of Theo's face. With just touch, his eyes softened, keeping his gaze on Luna, as her hand went up to gently scratch the back of his ear. Theo purred, stepping off Aria, walking closer to Luna. Luna slid down to her knees, where Theo laid next to her, placing his head on her lap. His tail swaying in content. Aria took this chance to back away, shifting back into her human form where she stood naked. Sabrina covered Kendall's eyes, fast growling. A couple of Omegas came by, wrapping a blanket over Aria. Theo too shifted back into his human, for causing Luna to blush 50 shades of red in an instant. Luna quickly jumped up, turning around, covering her red face. "I saw it, and I'm not even married yet," Luna shouted. Kendall smirked. "Whoa. She's a pure one." Sabrina slapped Kendall upside the head, rolling her eyes. Thankfully, Theo had some hidden clothes behind some trees as he left to go get them. While doing so, a wave of dread washed over Theo's body, thoughts swirling in his head. What is to happen now? Will Luna reject him? What is she feeling? All these questions made Theo was afraid to know. If we accept being talked to any kind of a way, then we are telling ourselves we are not quite worth the best. And if we have the effrontery to talk to anybody with less than courtesy, we tell ourselves and the world we are not very intelligent. Maya Angelou, Luna's POV. I stayed where I stood, watching Theo leave, while everyone else just stood there staring at me in amazement. However, the only thing cluttering up my mind is the fact I just saw Aria and Theo turn as two big wolves. Is this real? It's like I'm living in a Twilight movie, but only better, since I just kicked a wolf's ass. Now that I think about it, everything is starting to make more sense. The growls, the color of the eyes changing, how everyone calls Theo Alpha. I even heard Kendall be called Beta. Everyone that lives in this big house is wolves. This is their pack, Luna. I turned to face Kendall, who had a sheepish look on his face. "Why, yes," I asked. Damn, voice cracked. "I'm sure you have lots of questions to ask." Kendall started. "That's an understatement." "What happens now?" I asked. "Well, if you follow me, I will take you to Theo's study so that we all can talk." Kendall led me back into the house along with Sabrina, Clover, and Theo's parents. I could tell from behind me that Theo's father was staring me down with an intense gaze that could burn a hole in the back of my head. Seriously, what have I ever done to him? If it's because I'm human, then that is just wrong. Okay, girl, don't go assuming. Let's just ride this out. Once inside Theo's study, everyone sat down in silence. We all had to wait for Theo to arrive so that this conversation could get started. I wish he would hurry and come. The silence was a killer. A few moments passed and Theo stepped in. From the way he looked, I could tell Theo was upset and tired, both in which I completely understand. This whole situation is just insane. How am I not flipping out is the bigger question. I noticed that Theo was avoiding my gaze as if looking at me would bother him. Why? Oh, come on, don't tell me I did something. Now I feel like I want to cry. Let's get this over with. Theo began. As you may already know, Luna, we are werewolves. I am the alpha of this pack. My pack is known as the Midnight Hell Pack. I took over as a leader when my father stepped down. Kendall here is my beta, while his mate Sabrina is our female beta. They are second in command. There are many ranks within the pack. Okay then, I figured as much. Seriously, how am I not freaking out? That's not all. Kendall jumped in taking over. Vampires, mermaids, dragons, fairies, all that you can think do exist. Holy carp, this is a lot to take in. So wait, does this mean she was real? The best part is we have mates that have been blessed by us by our moon goddess, Sabrina said, holding Kendall's hand. Like soulmates, I asked. Exactly, Kendall said. However, Theo's father said, catching everyone's attention. It is sadly a known fact that most do reject their mates. It's a painful experience that could kill you. Many have died from rejection. Those who haven't, their hearts become cold. Some even go rogue. It's possible to have a second chance mate, and that is all. Hearts become cold. I looked back at Theo to reach his gaze, but he turned away again. Don't tell me. As you may have already guessed, my son was rejected by his first and second mate due to him being a horrible mate. Packing for a trip can be exciting, but unpacking is always depressing. Unknown 3 days have now passed since the incident that involved Luna and Aria, and things have now settled down. Aria was forced back to her pack and forbidden to ever come back. She will be facing punishment from her alpha for trying to harm a human. Aria had disgraced the warrior code. A warrior is to protect innocent life, not harm. Luna and Theo decided on telling his father about how in the beginning they lied about being a couple. Truth be told, he was not happy but forgave them when they explained that they do have feelings for each other like real mates, which to Theo's father was a surprise. It's impossible to have a third chance mate to be given by the moon goddess. It's written with the royal book of wolves that a wolf may only have a second chance mate if their first mate dies or rejects them. There is no record of any third chance. Word got out to all packs around the world about Theo having a third chance at love. The news gave hope to others out there who believed they would never find a chance at love. The Midnight Hell Packs Alpha and Luna became famous. They became a symbol of hope and love. Hey, Theo, we got another call from a pack wanting peace treaty. Kendall yelled, barging into Theo's office. Luna was sitting on his lap, blushing crimson red. Theo gave Kendall an annoyed, murderous look. Can't you knock next time? Theo said angrily as Luna rubbed his back soothingly. Kendall smiled, closing the door behind him. No, and I see I caught you both in a make-out session. Kendall, it's like you're asking to get beat up, Luna said, shaking her head. You both love me, Kendall yelled. Yeah, sure we do. Theo says sarcastically, pulling Luna closer to his chest, but perfect timing. I need you to link Sabrina to come here. We all have to discuss something. On it, Kendall said, mind-linking Sabrina to come on by Theo's office. About 5 minutes passed and Sabrina came walking in. I'm here, Sabrina said, closing the door behind her, taking a seat next to Kendall, who kissed her softly on the cheek. So, what did you want to discuss with us? Kendall asked. Theo leaned back into his seat with Luna still in his arms as she waited for Theo to explain what was going on. Kendall, remember a couple of weeks ago I informed you about the royal meeting happening at the Alpha King's palace? Kendall's face was blank for about a moment till his memory came flooding back. Oh yeah, I remember now. I can't believe that slipped my mind. That's not the only thing that slipped your mind. Sabrina giggled. Kendall playfully shoved Sabrina's shoulder, chuckling because he knew what she meant. Theo cleared his throat. We leave tonight. The alpha and beta must be there. Lunas and female betas must also attend. Great, Kendall said. We'll start packing now. Who will be in charge while we are gone? Austin will be, Theo said. Wait, Luna said. What is this meeting about? It could be about recent attacks on packs by these foxes. All reports all say a fox with 2 or more tails killing the alphas with great speed. Kendall said. The great beauty of life is its mystery, the inability to know what course our life will take, and diligently work to transmute into our final form based upon a lifetime of constant discovery and enterprising effort. Accepting the unknown and unknowable eliminates regret. Kilroy J. Oldster, third-person POV. The meeting room was quiet. Each leader of every race was unsure what to say or even gesture to one another, except narrowed eyes and shifting glances. The room sounded so loud about how quiet it was. Someone needed to break the silence and quickly before an alpha got antsy and snapped. The head of the table was the Alpha King. Tanned skin tone that popped tribal band tattoos around his biceps and one hidden one on the small of his back. Slicked back onyx hair that naturally shined like the onyx gem. Green eyes that would flash from deep forest green to electric lime between the leaders before him and their partners. His eyes landed on the vampire queen for just a moment before looking away. The tension in the air was making him exhausted and impatient. So he stood. I'll get right to the point in why you were all summoned here today. The Alpha King began. Recently, I have gotten more word from other pack messengers around the world that packs with questionable reputations have been silenced. Is it just packs with bad reputations? One of the alphas asked, speaking up. So far in the reports, yes, the king replied. He even had his beta hand out copies of the report. Do we have any witnesses to know who the attackers are? Sean asked the alpha of the Midnight Rain pack. We do. The royal beta began. The survivors who happened to be the ones being abused in one of the packs all say the same thing. They said it was all done by a fox. And not just any fox, this fox had 2 tails. Other reports are saying that other survivors seeing a fox with 4 tails or 5. Is this some kind of joke? I've never heard of a fox having that many tails. Another alpha said. This alpha seemed to think highly of himself. As a hunter, I've never heard of a fox with that many tails before myself. Summer mention. Also, in the reports, it says that only a single fox took down a pack with no help. I never heard of such power. Maybe from the Dragon King, but that's it. The Alpha King studied the crowd as he lowered back down into his seat, shifting into a relaxing position trying to think of what is happening. Silence hit once more, but a chair moved and Theo stood up, clearing his throat. All eyes on him as he spoke. While talk on how this is not possible or no one ever heard of them, we need to keep in mind that just because the fox took out the ruse, that doesn't mean they are an ally. We all need to be cautious. Alpha King tapped the table, eyeing Theo, and then the chair with a smile. Theo sat and sighed. The room full of shared whispers, surprised that Theo even spoke up. During meetings such as the C's, Theo would be silent. During this whole time, while everyone was talking, David noticed that Luna was being very quiet the whole time. Theo was even looking concerned about it. Even the king noticed. Do you have something to share, Luna? King asked her. The talking stopped and everyone looked at her. Luna looked at everyone with a serious gaze on her face in which was very surprising. I will tell you this. Luna began. If my hunch is correct and what these reports are saying turn out to be true, we could be facing off with fox demigods. Whispers started to pick up again with everyone asking, fox demigods. What nonsense are you spouting about? Isabella sneered. The Alpha Kind and Theo both growled at Isabella, silencing her. Isabella looked down in submission. Continue, the Alpha King said. Luna breathed softly. There is an old legend that my grandmother used to tell me about. The legend of the fox demigods. These gods lived in Japan and could still be today considering how mysterious Japan is. Each fox is having a certain number of tails indicating how powerful they are. The most powerful is the tails. They live by a code of honor. If injustice is done and nothing is done to stop it, then they will take over. Like with the packs, the Alpha King said. Since not much was done about them, they decided to take things in their hands. That's right, Luna said. The Alpha King smiled. Thank you, Luna. This is very helpful. Isabella's mate stood up. Now hold on. We can't possibly believe that what she said is true. That's where you are wrong. Adrain, the Dragon King, said, taking a stand. Everything that Luna said is true. I even have proof of their existence in this envelope that my dear mate Deanna found hidden in my castle. Adrain handed the envelope, containing some information on the fox demigods, to the Alpha King. Thank you both. King Adrian and Alpha Theo, you must be proud of your mates. They are a big help. Adrain and Theo smiled, looking at their mates who now blushed from the attention. That we are, they said in unison. Because when you finally find the one against all odds, you give him your best and let the magic of the world carry the rest. Mellyberry's second chances do come your way. Like trains, they arrive and depart regularly. Recognizing the ones that matter is the trick. Unknown during this time, while Alpha Theo attending the royal meeting with his mate Luna and Beta Kendall, along with his mate Sabrina, Austin was left to watch over the pack and protect it from any ruse or hunters that would jump at the chance to wipe the pack out. But it's not just ruse or hunters that want to take down Theo's pack. Many other rival packs' alphas would love to take over Theo's land. As of now, Austin is going around the pack, checking over on the members, seeing if all is well. Most of the pack warriors are in full training to keep in shape against any attacks. Being a pack warrior is one of the most important jobs to have. Many lives are taken away from defending the pack from all attacking forces. Austin thought being a warrior wolf would be a more fitting role for himself. However, his father and Wolf told him that being the delta of the pack was more suited because Austin's body would not be able to keep up with the harsh training. Austin is a great fighter, but even he is not able to defeat Kendall, and let alone Alpha Theo. Most times it made him upset, feeling as if this is all he could offer, then his mate would not be fully protected. Austin then thought about his ex-mate Clover, who he had rejected due to her sexual reputation, and felt so betrayed by her. The hurt look on her face when he had rejected her still burns deep in his mind, causing his heart to break even more. I see you're starting to regret rejecting out mate. Alex snarled, remembering Austin hurting their mate. Beta Kendall's words are now affecting you greatly. Shut up, Austin growled. You want Clover back, yet you are too prideful to admit you were wrong in rejecting her without giving her a slight chance. You are not different than them. Not wanting to hear what his wolf had to say anymore, Austin blocked Alex out. Just how could he face her when all he could feel his pain when looking at her? He wanted a mate that could wait for him as he had waited for her. Was that too much to ask for? Why didn't she wait for him? Could there have been a reason, but was too hurt to even ask? All these questions started to fill his mind, making him want to just drop everything that he is doing and go see Clover and ask her. He had to know her reasons for doing what she did. Leaving would be too reckless, so he thought about just calling her over so they could talk, but he forgot one important detail. He didn't know her number. Fuck, the only one who has her number is Luna. Austin sighed, taking out his phone so that he could call Luna and ask for Clover's number when the front doorbell rang. Who could that be? Placing his phone back into his pocket, Austin walked over to the front door, opening it to reveal Bailey wearing a short crop top and booty shorts that pretty much showed her ass way too much for Austin's liking. Why are you here, Bailey? Bailey smiled as her eyes roamed up and down Austin's body, causing him to shiver in disgust while she took it as him liking it. I came here to see you. I heard that Alpha Theo and Luna are not here with the Beta and his mate, and thought you could use some company. Bailey said, taking a step in. Sure, company, she says. Alex said, knowing exactly what she was meaning. Thankfully for him, he knew Austin was never going to be interested in her. Good for him. Sorry, but I'm busy at the moment. Please head back to your pack. I don't need your alpha giving me trouble. Bailey pouted, not wanting to leave anytime soon. I just really wanted to see you, Austin. I can't get you out of my mind no matter how much I try. Bailey said as she wrapped her arms around Austin's waist. Please let me stay with you. The touch from Bailey made Austin was to cough of blood from how much perfume she was wearing. Is this the same girl he met at the book club? What has gotten into her? She of all people should know that Austin was not interested in anybody else, but his mate, even if he had rejected her. Austin was about to pull away from Bailey when she had been forcefully yanked away and thrown out the door with a deep, dangerous growl. The growl did scare Austin, but it did send a wave of pleasure to run throughout his body. The person who has thrown Bailey out the door was Clover. Bailey struggled to get up, while Clover took this opportunity to grab Bailey by the neck tight, hoping to snap her neck. Austin could tell that her wolf Aurora had taken over and was ready to kill Bailey. With no time to lose, Austin rushed over to Clover at top speed, tackling her down, making her release Bailey's neck. Aurora, calm down. Killing her won't do you any good. Austin's grip on her tightened more due to her showing increasable strength. He had forgotten that her father is a pack warrior, and she has the strength as one. Austin placed his hand on Clover's cheek, having her look him in the eyes to show her that everything is okay. With Austin's touch, Aurora gave back control to Clover as she leaned to his touch before wrapping her arms around his neck as she inhaled his scent, relaxing. Austin wrapped his arms tight around Clover's waist, inhaling her scent as he realized just how much he missed her and how much he regrets rejecting her. "You damn bitch," Bailey cursed. She was raging with anger at Clover for almost killing her. Austin growled, darkly keeping his hold on Clover tight with his eyes darkening. The look on his face scared Bailey enough for her to step back only slightly. "Why are you holding that slut? She hurt you and me. She took my mate away. You're better off with me than with her." Before Clover could get a word in, both Clover and Austin froze at the sight behind Bailey. There stood, with golden flames surrounding Bailey, was a woman with a fox mask and shimmering veil around her. Beautiful, long but fluffy, 8 tails swaying up and down. The woman held her long katana at the back of Bailey's neck. One wrong move and the sword's black would pierce through her neck. Instead, the woman turned her blade around, hitting the back of Bailey's neck with the handle, knocking her out. The woman placed her sword back into its sheath, walking away. "Wait," Austin yelled. "Who in the world are you?" "A friend," the woman said before leaving. "Austin," Clover said. Austin looked at Clover. "What's wrong?" Clover looked at Austin in the eyes. That woman, she looked like Luna. Prepare for the unknown by studying how others in the past have coped with the unforeseeable and the unpredictable. George S. Patton's short chapter after the meeting. Luna leaned on Theo, sighing. She looked up at him and smiled. "I'm going to go get some fresh air, okay?" "Okay, please just stay aware," Theo said, with his mind going back to what Luna had said at the meeting. What else could she know that she still feels the need to hide? Luna nodded and walked out of the room. Kendall had disappeared a while ago too, with Sabrina to talk with his good friend Vlad. She pushed out through the door out to the outside and took a deep breath. The air hit and soothed all over as Luna continued to walk, approaching the woods nearby. Fair enough in the sea of trees, Luna breathed in and out again, gaining another way of relaxation and cooling. So much has happened so soon. It's all a mess. Leaving everyone stressed to no end. Too lost in thought, she hadn't noticed she was being followed. But she sensed another strong presence when above her, a branch snapped. "Hello," Luna called out. Just barely, Luna caught a small, lilac blurry and pair of eyes peeking. "Hello," said the voice, and the person jumped down from where they sat facing Luna. Luna looked at the person standing before her. The person was a young woman with long lilac hair, making the silver diamond-coated veil to shimmer in the light, making it look like she was glowing like some god. The woman wore a mask hiding her face, but Luna could tell who she was, for Luna knew she could never forget a friend. "It's been so long, Luna. You have grown beautifully." Luna smiled, tearing. "Right back at you. If you're here then." "Yes," the woman said. Luna was here also. She will be heading back home now. She has completed her mission. Luna smiled, knowing that her only sister, who happens to be her twin sister, was doing okay. If her parents were still alive, they would be very proud of her. When Luna and Lunar were born into this world, it was Lunar who was born a fox demigod on her mother's side, while Luna was born human due to her father being human. Even with human genes, being born human from a fox demigod is rare, however. Luna grew up happy the way she is and even helped out in whatever she could. Lunar was and still is to this day protective of Luna, and now even to her friends and mate. "I assume that you still have much work to go with your mission, Daya." Daya sighed, nodding. "Much is needed to be done. Who knows how long it will be till I am done. But enough about this. How is it being mated to an alpha?" Luna blushed to keep her gaze away from Daya, knowing from behind her mask she is smirking. "Things have been going very well. Theo is just misunderstood. It's heartbreaking just how much others judge him without even giving him a slight chance. I know he's done some wrong things, but it's all to protect his pack. This world is ugly, Luna. Doesn't matter if one is human or supernatural. Everyone is all the same. The same emotions run through everyone. There is just a handful of those who choose to make good use, that I know all too well, Daya. I told the Alpha King and what's going on. It's up to him and others to believe if I am telling the truth. Thank you, Luna. They should know that if things don't change, there will be war. Luna sighed. Rather there be no war, but even I can tell changing will be difficult. I know some packs will, however, not all. Daya turned away, looking off into the distance. It was time for her to leave. I have to go now. We will meet again. Next time Lunar will be with me. I see. Take care, Daya. I can't wait for the day you find your mate, too. Luna smiled, seeing Daya jerk at the mention of her finding a mate. Luna can tell she was a blushing mess. Daya has a pure heart and knows she looks forward to that day like any other. I do too, Luna. More than anything. Luna watched Daya take her to leave, disappearing off into the distance. Giving one last look, Luna headed back to where Theo was, only to find Theo watching Kendall get choked out by his friend Vlad, while Sabrina was recording the whole thing. Yeah, my life is just not normal. You know another word for party? Celebration. Do you know another word for celebrate? Have fucking fun. Make fucking merry. George Saunders, I am thankful for the mess to clean after a party because it means I have been surrounded by friends. Nancy J. Carmody, after about another hour into the pack meeting, the Wolf King decided to listen to what Luna said about the fox demigods and conduct an investigation. He even advised to all alphas that things must change if they wish to avoid any war the fox demigods could bring, since they are unknown. All other races had to do the same to avoid such devastation. Reports came flooding in, with many other packs and hunters being slaughtered with no one left alive, but those who had been imprisoned. The imprisoned all claimed to say the same thing. A fox with many tails saved them, or seeing a person in strange clothing wearing a mask that resembled a fox. The king could tell that the foxes were just trying to help unfortunate, so he decided on letting them do what they wanted, as he would be sending his warriors out to help in saving the innocent. The king knew he had to do his part, and so did the other nobles. Alpha Theo promised to take part in helping in any part the king wanted. The Alpha King thanked Theo and Luna for much help at the meeting, and with that, it was time for everyone to return home. So, you want us to throw a proper welcome party for Luna to accept her as your chosen mate? Kendall asked, surprised that his best friend, who hates parties, was asking him of all people to arrange one for Luna. Kendall choked back tears of happiness from his sudden change. Sabrina yanked his ear hard, annoyed at his action, but still found it funny, while Theo wanted to stomp on the brakes and punch Kendall. But he didn't want to jolt away Luna, who was fast asleep in the front seat. I may hate parties, but I like to do this for her. Not because it's the right thing to do, but only because I do love her. Theo said, with his eyes softening as a gentle smile graced his face, making him look more handsome than how he already is. Theo knew she was the one who could change him for the better and to tame his wolf when needed. Midnight loved Luna already and is pleased to have a mate like her by his side. Theo thought back on what Luna had told him before they left the royal meeting about how she has a twin sister who is a fox demigod and everything that could lead to war. To say he was surprised by the news was an understatement. To think that Luna was related to a demigod is just unbelievable. Theo promised her to keep this a secret, however. She had to tell the Alpha King about it. Luna understood it was the right thing to do, since the Alpha King is understanding and would not be upset with her. I'm so proud of you, man. Sadhana yanked on Kendall's ear again. Can you shut up? Luna is sleeping. Anyway, what are you thinking about having it? Any other guests to coming to, or small group of us and the pack? Theo leaned back in the driver's seat, eyeing Luna's sleeping face out of the corner of his eye, then back to the road. Just a small group of us. It's just a party. Don't need too many for this. Sabrina and Kendall smiled at each other, nodding in agreement about just a small group. Luna was important to all of them, but most important to Theo. Even though she knows Theo loves her to no end, beyond what the moon goddess even knows, this party was a good idea to show her again. I take it just simple decorations too, then. Her favorite foods and drinks, all of that. Kendall was smiling wide as more ideas came in. That isn't a bad idea. We can't shy away from your foods and drinks too, though, Theo. It may be a party for her, but you got to enjoy it too.